Okay, so I'm going to start. So, what is this work group? Okay, very simple. We have a computer. Simply, we have a computer. For example, this is my computer. This is my computer. Okay, I am working on it and I am administrating on it. So, I have a computer. Very simple. I have a computer. I am working on it. I am controlling, and what I want to do it, I will do it because it is my personal computer, personal laptop, or a personal computer. What I want to install application, I will install it. So what are the changes I want to make it, I will change it. Okay. If I don't want some application, I will uninstall it. If I want some application, I will install it. Okay, so totally I will administrate my computer alone. Okay, so our Windows operating system updates regularly, right? So our operating system updates. So I will update. If I want to update, I will update. If I don't want to update, I don't update. So that is my personal computer. Okay, so next, if in case if in case I have a multiple computers. For example, I'm working in a small organization or maybe a internet center. Okay, I have a multiple computers, not single computer. I have a multiple computers in my organization. 10, 10 computers, maybe a 20 computers, maybe a 5 computers. Like that, I have a number of computers. For example, I have a 10 computers. I put some names on it. For example, it is a this is a better one. PC1, okay, or maybe a PC2. I put a computer names like this: PC3, PC4, PC5. Okay, so I try to tell very slowly, guys. Important is if you don't understand, put it in a chat box or maybe directly tell, sir, I didn't understand this point. I will repeat, or maybe we'll discuss that point also. Okay. Yesterday, I think some of you already, may not understand or confused. Um, okay, so yesterday I explained a lot with very high speed or confusion points are there. So today I will try to normal. Okay, situation is different from yesterday to today. Okay, so here it is. I have 5 computers and I want to administrate all the computers because less number of computers, no problem. We can go to each and every PC. I will install application, or maybe I want to do some settings. Okay, maybe a login setting, or maybe some desktop setting, or maybe an application related setting, or a firewall related setting. Okay, or a network related setting. I can do it by going to one by one computer. For example, I'm in my hometown now, so I have a laptop and my nephew also have a laptop. Maybe my sister came from Hyderabad, then three laptops in the same room. So if anybody having a problem, I can go to that laptop and I can manage the laptop also. Okay, or maybe if I go to my office, Pune, so then I can see the there is a 30 computers in a single room. No problem, 30 computers I can install operating system, 30 computers I can install applications, and as well as settings, everything I can do by each and a PC. But it will take little bit time compared to 5 pieces to 30 pieces. It take little bit time, right? So I can manage it. Okay, so understand that one first point. Okay, if I have a 500 pieces, it's very difficult to manage. If I have a 100 computers, it's very difficult to manage. 200, 300, 500, 1000, 2000, 3000. So number of user base and the number of computers are increases. It's very difficult to administrate one by one computer, one by one computer. Okay, so it's difficult to control each and every PC by going to each and every PC. So that is keep in in mind. So keep it one side. But I'm telling a simple scenario here. I have a five computers. Five are individual computers. No centralized server. No centralized server. So I don't have any centralized controlling system. I don't have any centralized controlling system. Just I'm adding it, but I put a cross mark like this. No centralized system to control my computers. Who is controlling these computers? Very simple. Each computer has a admin account, means administrator account. Okay, generally in Windows, from almost like a Windows 7 onwards, Windows XP also same thing. Okay, but if you first you install a operating system, think like you are install a operating system and you log in. So one second, trigger message. Okay, no, don't need to worry. Okay, so I created an account. First account I created, for example, um, let so better is student one. So first account I created as a student one in my PC one. So by default is a admin. Okay, either administrator as a name, or you can use student one as a username for first name. For example, in my laptop I have a account. Okay, so this is an account. So I log in with the username Inish. Okay, that's my nephew name. Okay, so the name, the user is Inish, is a administrator of my laptop. Okay, like a student one is a administrator of laptop, or maybe I put another name is like my name Latif. Maybe I will put another name like Rajesh. So we'll see names from here. Venugopal is there, Nikhil, Chandrika. So we'll see some names here. Okay, Nikhil. Okay. Venu, Gopal. So these are users. I put these users in a different pieces. For example, um, so PC one. Yeah, this is correct. Okay, PC one username is Latif. PC two username is Chandrika. Okay, admin is Chandrika. Okay, PC3 admin is Nikhil, and PC4. So when I install a operating system, I created this account. So why it is taking that much of time is Gopal. Okay, so at least killing. This is Venugopal not cooperating. Yeah, now this okay. This is Rajesh, and this is Venu. Venu is a simple name. That's okay. I'll type directly. Okay. So these are the users in my different PCs. That is my admin accounts. Like Latif can able to administrate PC1, Chandrika can administrate PC2, Nikhil can administrate PC3, Rajesh can administrate PC4, and Venu is administrate PCB, individual PCs. Think where's a simple PCs connected in the network. So the if you want to log into PC1, Latif, and Chandrika log into PC2, Nikhil log into PC3, like that it will go. Next, okay. I want to install some application. Okay, I want to install some application. So who can able to install application in a PC1? Latif user. Who can able to install application in a PC2? Chandrika user. Like that, admin can able to change things, and administrator account located inside of that PC only. Okay, so that is the first point to understand. So that's the second point to understand. But what is the first point? There is a no centralized administrator. There is no centralized server or a administrator to administrate these PCs. Okay, and each PC has their own administrator. Each PC has their own user account or a administrator account to administrate that PC. If anything change want to change, you can able to change it. And what is the third point? Here it is. If Latif want to administrate PC2, we cannot. If Latif want to administrate PC2, we can't change. Latif cannot do anything with the PC2, and Latif cannot able to log into Chandrika PC2. Okay, or Nikhil want to log in a Rajesh PC, so not allowed because account is here, and he can't log into other PCs. Okay, so they're all in the same network, but a user in the one system cannot able to log into another system. That is my third point. Okay, so okay, that is the third point. So I will put a dash here because no dash, but yeah. Guys, understand. First point is there is no centralized administrator, no centralized administrator controlling your PCs. Okay, controlling your login, controlling your settings changes or anything. No centralized controller. So that is meaning is decentralized administrator, decentralized administration. Work group means decentralized administration. Second one, the second one is each individual PC is administrated by their own administrator account. Administrated by their own administrator account. So every PC has their own administrator account, or a name is administrator or a different name depends upon your PC. Okay, so every PC has their own admin account, so that admin account can able to change settings or installation, uninstallation, or a control of working of PC by that administrator only. So that is a second point. So what is the third point? A user in the PC cannot able to log into other PCs. A user in the PC cannot log into another PCs. Okay. So guys, understand up to here, up to this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I told third point, a user in the PC cannot log into another PC. Then question is why? The question is why? Simple question, right? Why? So simple. User. I created a user in this PC. It means username and a password stores in that PC only, right? Username means Latif, and we give a password, right? Generally, your computer username and a password you are giving. That password stores in the in that PC only. Very simple. In this PC, so Latif username and password stores in PC one only. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, someone is trying to ask question. Okay, guys. I will tell one simple thing. You know, we are in a go-to meeting, right? There is a hand symbol. If you see in a go-to meeting, there is a small hand symbol you can see. Okay. For example, I'm in a flow. You're trying to ask question, and I'm not able to catch that your question. Okay. So in that situation, or you want to ask some question, what you will do? Just raise the hand, so then it will show some color, and also there is a dot mark, right? So I will check it who is I will stop and I will ask. So okay, if there is nothing, like you are already okay, so then you're like you point is clear before you are asking question. So hands down, like just select it again, so then it is gone. Okay. Next one is, like, if you are understand also, then you can thumbs up. Okay, there is a thumbs up symbol is, but okay, no, so you have to react directly, yes, say yes or no. Okay, or maybe your voice is unable to hear from my side or your side. Okay, so you can put in a chat box also. Okay, so think. Next, this is PC1. It stores username is Latif and their related password, right? PC1 stores username and a user's password. Next, there is a two words are there. One is okay, authentication and authorization. Okay, so authentication and authorization. So very simple. Authorization. Okay, so this is the spelling. Yeah, I thought somewhere. Authorization. Okay, so authentication and authorization. Authentication means verifying username and password. Verifying username and password. For example, you are entering into the movie theater. What you require? Ticket, right? So first of all, ticket will be verified. Are you carrying a correct ticket or not? That is called authentication. It is belongs to you or not. Like that, it is authentication. Authorization, allowing access. Authorization means allowing access. In this model, who will authenticate username and password? PC1 only. Who will authorize to access PC? Like you have to log in, right? So you have to access the PC. So who will authorize? PC1 only. Okay. So this is called a work group. So authentication and authorization by PC1 only. So either you can make it that one as a fifth point or a fourth point. So again, I'm repeating from starting points. So what is this work group model? What is a work group model? There is no centralized administration. It is a decentralized administration. Second point is every PCA has their own administrator. Okay, example, like a I've written a 5 PCs. Each PC has different usernames, and we log in with that one. Third point I told, so one user in the PC cannot log into another PC as a local user. Why? Because of that is the fourth point. Username and their password and their user information stores the respect to PC only. Okay, username, their password or information or files, everything stores in the respect to PC only. User will authenticated by that respect to PC only and authorized by that PC only. So this is called a work group. So all 5 points, right? So totally, I just added a, so 4 and 5 is same, but I divided to that one. So there are these 5 points. Guys, are you clear with these 5 points? Yeah, Venugopal said thumbs up. Very good. So this is our group. Just so this is a point. It is user profile data. What is this profile data? Okay, and what is the meaning of local PC? So normally each PC is a local PC only, not domain PC. Okay, so like that it is. Local PC means this is a my local PC, not belongs to anyone. Okay, not located in somewhere. Okay, some group. Okay, not a member of anything. Okay, what is this profile data? I will show you the profile data here. So this is my PC, right? So if you see, I click on this PC, there is a few things you can able to see here. It is desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, videos. These are all my profile data. It means if one piece, yeah, someone is put a question here. Yeah, very good. Chandrika put a thumbs up. Okay, good. Mm, good. Okay, so these are drives only: C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive. For example, I have a two users in my PC. For example, I have a two users in my PC. One is Latif, another one is um, Gopal. For example, okay, so I have a two users are there. So two users in the same PC. So I'm an admin. Gopal is a standard user or another admin. Whatever it is, two users. Think there are two users in the same PC. Okay, so F drive data, E drive data like this, D drive data, C drive the extra data. So see, so a lot of data is there in my C drive like that, or maybe a Z drive data or a H drive data. These data can be accessed by any user. Any user. Both Latif and Gopal can able to access this direct data. Okay. Next, I have some data in my documents, downloads, or maybe certain data in my music. So this data cannot be accessed by other user. For example, this data belongs to Latif, so that this data cannot be accessed by Gopal. Okay, this data cannot be accessed by Gopal. So if you see, this is my C drive. I'm scrolling down and you can see the user. If I open a user, so this is my user. I don't have any other users. That's why no other names. So only it is a default names like a administrator. Like these names are there, but only single user. If I have a two users like a Latif and as well as a Gopal, like a one folder is Latif, another folder as a show as a Gopal. Okay, so if I open my main folder, this data, this is entirely my profile data, my application related data only. So when I, this data cannot be accessed by other user. very simply say, I have a data on my desktop. I have a data on my desktop. So if I log in with other user, this data won't show in the other users desktop. So that is called profile data. So every user's data in documents, downloads, pictures, videos. Okay, so that main data cannot be shown or accessed by other users in the same PC. Okay, so that is called profile data. So that is one. Okay, next one is domain. Next one is domain. Okay, so I want to save this one. Okay, next one is domain. Then so we'll see. So what is the meaning of domain? I hope you understand work group. So we'll understand domain also. So I'm removing so only this part and the bottom part also. So domain environments has a server, centralized administrator, centralized server is there. So that is in a black color. Okay, so like that. I'm just to avoid the extra lines. I'm removing it. Nothing more. Okay, so this is my server. For example, my server name is server one. So here in this server, I add a role, means it is a Windows server, and I put a role called ADDS. Currently, we call this one as a ADDS, Active Directory Domain Services. Active Directory Domain Services. So then it can do the work of Active Directory work. Means what is this Active Directory Domain Services? Why it is? So I installed a ADDS. When I installed ADDS, this server become domain controller. See, it is not at all listening to me. Okay, yeah, this is no, this is better. Okay, so this is become domain controller. Now it is smart size. Okay, so when I install ADDS, it is become domain controller. My server is now domain controller. So what is this ADDS? So it is nothing but a database. First of all, Active Directory database. What is this Active Directory database? So it stores information of users in the domain. It stores information of users, computers, groups, groups, um, resource, and services. Stores information of users, computers, groups, and resource information. What is a resource? Like a printers, scanners, like that. Okay, so different type of services, the data will be stored in the active directory database. It contains some database. Okay, it stores in that one. And it is also do authentication and authorization of users and computers. Sorry. Okay, so it is also do authentication of users and computers when they log in to network. So people say network, but it is just network meaning is so through network. To network means through network. Okay, so I will explain what is the all this kind of stuff. So don't worry. Okay, so this is my server, which controls all my PCs, which is in the network. If in case if there are in my domain, if there are in my domain. Okay, to understand what is this domain, not in the domain, it is a member of a domain. So if you are a member of some thing, it means you are belongs to that one. So for example, you are member of Savantis, so Savantis rules will be applied. I am an employee of Savantis. The Savantis rules and regulations of employee or a timetable or a holidays will apply on me. Okay, and if I am an employee of HCL or if I am an employee of Cognizant, that organization rules and regulations will be applied on me, right? Their salary, their PF account, or maybe their holiday list is different from me. And like my sister also working, but different organization. Her leave policy is different, my leave policy is different. So like that, so their rules and regulations are different. A person who taught this thing is given me an example, so I am telling very simple example to understand. Okay, so guys try like this. For example, I have a party like a ABC party, another party is XYZ party, a political party. For example, you are the member. Okay, so U1 is a member of, so no, no, not U1. Tell me some name. So we'll take it from the list only. Uh, Girish is there. Uh, Indu is there. Okay, so we'll see first Girish. So Girish is a member of ABC party, and I forget the names. Okay. Abdul Akila. So we'll take first names. Okay, Abdul and Akila also belongs to ABC party. It means there are a member of ABC only. Okay, okay. So because of your membership, you'll get some access, some permissions. You can go to their office. Okay, so you'll get some rights from because of the membership only. Okay, if you want, if you don't want, like for example, Akila don't want to be in a member of ABC party. So what they will do? First resign from the ABC. Okay, first you have to resign from the ABC. Then if you want, you can join into another one. Okay, if you want, you can join into another one. First of all, you have to resign ABC party. Then only you can able to join. Otherwise, you need to join also. For example, we are not belongs to any party, right? Some may be in a particular party, maybe some in a Congress, some in BJP, some in Telugudesam, or some depends upon your local party. Okay, so some are in a Aam Aadmi party, right? Some may not. Most of them not belongs to any party, will vote but not party. So like, if you are not belongs to any party, for example, I will take another name here. Yeah, Lakshmi is there, and I need small name Indu and Lakshmi, so I will put a, okay, Murug Lakshmi and Indu. It's a small name. R belongs to XYZ party. Okay, and Rizwan, Bala Murugan, Shivaram. Okay, there are not in the party. Shivaram, Bala Murugan. Okay, so Rizwan. Okay, are not belongs to any party. So what we can call them this one? They are not belongs to. They are not a member of any party. So we can call them as a work group. Okay, these are all belongs to this domain. Okay, these are all belongs to this domain, like that. So this is the membership of a particular domain. Very simple. Okay, if in case if you don't understand this example, no problem. Just I try to tell, member of, the terminology is like a member of. Here I want to list out something. I will write something here. um, so look at, different color is better, green color. So in my Active Directory database, first of all, I want to put some computer name. I will join these computers into my domain. I want to join these computers into the domain. So then my domain controller has information of computers. So those computers we call it as a domain computers. Those computers we call it as a domain computers. Who are domain computers? Member of the domains. Okay, a computer which is belongs to a particular domain. So that is called a member of a domain. So PC1, PC2, PC3, and PC4. So I add these PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4 computers to my domain. So these four PCs are belongs to my domain. Belongs to my domain. I can put some name for my domain name. For example, domain name is. Oh, I put a very name, easy name. So Vedic.com. Domain, it's not a URL, it is very simple, it is a domain, that's it. Okay, it is my domain name is Vedic.com. So I have a database in my server. Okay, so in the database, so I have a information belongs to PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4. Information means, so that is a PC, that's it. Okay, so what is that PC, that's it. Okay, so these pieces are we call it as a domain computers. These computers we call it as a domain computers. So like that. It is not setting. Just try to understand because space is not there. Next, I'm adding some users. I'm adding some users in this domain. I'm adding some users in my database. Okay, so like this, I'm adding some users in my database. Any place you can put it, just like this. So first name is like, just I'm adding directly in names: user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5, user 6, user 7, user 8, for example. So I added a 8 user. Okay, 4 computers, 8 users. If you want, you can add more. Okay, so the users in the domain, we call it as a domain users. Users in the domain, we call it as a domain users. Okay, and also our domain also having a administrator. Administrator in the domain controller is the administrator of entire domain. Is the administrator of entire domain. Okay, centralized administrator. So domain environment has a centralized administrator. So if you have a centralized administrator, it means individually you don't have any administrator. Means these species are in the domain. It means they don't have any individual administrator. So domain administrator is a administrator of everyone. Actually, of course, this is also an account. For example, I put a D admin one. Okay, that is a account name. For example, think this is the account name, and it is belongs to this group. So domain admin status group. Obviously, D admin one is administrator of all these species, including domain controller. So he can manage this user account, can manage anything in the these species. Okay, so okay, so next point I will tell, but before going to that one, one step back. So again, so this is a domain environment. First point is domain has a centralized administration. Domain is a centralized administration. It has centralized server. So the server we call it as a domain controller. The server we call it as a domain controller. So what is a domain? Domain is a centralized administration, and we administrate centrally. So there is a centralized server is there. So the server we call it as a domain controller. Okay, so in the domain controller we install a role called ADDS. If you don't get it, no problem. So we have a Active Directory database. We have a Active Directory database in the domain controller. We have a Active Directory database. You know database, right? What is a database? We put a data in the database. It is simple. It's a storage part like a SQL type means usually. It is also a database like SQL is a regular tabular format database. This is also same thing, but not SQL. It is belongs to Windows related, some structure wise different one, not as a SQL database. Okay, so Active Directory database. Domain controller has a Active Directory database. Okay, next, database contains users. What is the information in the database? Database means it contains some information, right? So what is the information? User information, computer information, group information, resource, services. That information stores in Active Directory database. Mainly whenever you got a question, what is Active Directory? So Active Directory database contains user information, computers information, group and resources information stores in Active Directory database. And Active Directory also do authentication and authorization when user log into the computer. Very simple. When user is log into a computer, which computer? Domain computer. Which user? Domain user. Okay, so totally entire domain has a domain administrators. So the domain administrator is a admin of entire your domain. So not only one administrator, multiple administrator can be there, but uh, the domain administrator is administrator of entire your domain. Centralized administration. That is the fourth point. Guys, anybody having a doubt, question, understand, understood? Tell me. Okay. Okay. Someone responded. Um, Next point. So here to tell the next point. Yeah, I have a computer information. So PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4 is a member of my domain. So that information has here. I have that information, and I have a I created users in my domain. I created users in my domain. User one, user two, user three, user four, five, six, seven, 8. So these are 8 users I created in my domain controller. So the information stores in Active Directory. Now I try to log in into my PC1. I try to log in my PC1. So with like this, first user one. I try to log in to PC1 with a user one. I didn't create user one in PC1. Where I created in a domain controller only. I created in a domain controller only. Okay, but I am trying to log in PC1. So we can log in like that because of PC1 is belongs to domain. Now PC1 is belongs to domain. So then domain user can able to log into PC1. No need to create in a each and every PC. Just you have to create in a domain controller. So then you can log into any domain computer. You can log in into any domain computer. Next, so when I put a username and a password, compulsory password is there, right? So when I put a username and password, the request will go to domain controller and ask for a authentication. Ask for a authentication means username is stored here, password is also stored here. So it will ask verify username and password. Once it is authenticated, then domain controller will tell user is authenticated. Then next step is authorization. Can I access PC1 or not? So that is authorization. So once it is given authorization, so you can log into PC. Very simple. I will go to second PC. User 2, put a username and password. Then request for authentication go to domain controller. So domain controller verify username and password and tell user is got authenticated. Next user will request for authorization to access PC2, so it will give authorization. Guys understand authentication? So where is the user? It is in a domain controller. Where is PC information? PC information also stores in domain controller. PCs are domain computers. Users are domain users. When user is trying to log in into the domain computer, authentication and authorization done by domain controller only. Okay, not by individual PCs. Why? Because of user information. User information stores in a domain controller. User information stores in domain controller. So then domain controller can able to authenticate users, not by PCs. So user 3 login here, user 4 try to log in here, user 5 can try to log in here. One question is, can user 5 can log in PC5 or not? Okay, anybody can give a question, any answer. I am trying to log in with user 5 to PC5. Can I log in or not? Someone give an answer. Yes. Okay. So user 5 is a domain user. Okay, and domain user can log in to any domain computer. Okay, not other, not in the work group, not in the other domains. Within the domain computers only, you can log in. Who are the domain computers? See the list: PC1, PC2, PC3, okay, PC4. These are the domain computers. This domain computer, domain computer, domain computer, domain computer. And PC5 is not a domain computer because that I didn't join into my domain. It is not in my list. So now tell me again, check your answer. Domain user can log into domain computer but not other computers other than domain computers. Can anyone change the answer? Okay. So user 5 cannot log into PC5. So answer is no. Okay. So domain user means user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the domain users, and PC5 is not a member of domain as per this chart. Okay. So then we can't log into PC5. So PC5 is a separate. So we don't know about anything about PC5 as for the domain controller. Okay. So very simple. What is my limited access for controlling? Okay, not a transmitting data at all, but I'm telling you about by controlling of domain controller. The limitation is a logically, it is a boundary is there like this. So domain, already I told, centralized administration, and also we can call is domain is a logical administrative boundary of users and computers. Domain is a logical administrative boundary of users and computers. So wherever the users can log in into the domain computers only, not in the others. So I hope you got the point. Okay. So totally I told some 6 points are there in this one. Guys, understand this thing?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Actually, we no need to show you anything in a practical way, but just for my curiosity, without a practical, I don't feel anything is actually shown. Okay, so meanwhile, pieces these are virtual machines, guys. Okay, I have a one single laptop only, but while I'm doing some practical, so I can't able to do it. Okay, do it and so this is a two machines, one is a Windows 10, another one is a Windows server. So if I want to do practical, I have to buy two computers, right? One for a server, one for a client. I have to buy two computers. Each computer minimum cost is 30 plus, right? So 30,000 or 35,000 you have to invest minimum, i3 or i5. So you have to invest it. So for to show this practical, I have to buy two computers and a big camera to show you that this slide, this screen, that screen kind of stuff. So it cost me like that. Okay, so not required, simply using an application called a VMware workstation. So I am created these virtual machines and I'm using it. So this is a very simple way of telling the what is virtualization kind of stuff. So I will show you another part. Okay, so like this. So these are all, if you see the sidebar, these are all my virtual machines. You can see, and I installed 2012 server here, Windows XP, 2012 server, 2003 server for some storage related practicals, backup related practicals. Only we can able to do in a 2003 only. Okay, so two example practicals. Next one is this is a Linux Windows 10 with a Oracle installed in it, and this is for a Windows 10 with a DevOps. This is for a Linux web server, Proxmox virtualization server. This is for our DevOps also. This is a CentOS Linux PC. These two Windows server 2016, and this is a Windows 10 PC. Okay, so this is a Windows 10 PC, and this is a Windows 10 PC with the DevOps tools installed. Okay, so this is the VMware vSphere. It is a server virtualization tool, CentOS, Linux, and this is a DevOps in Linux. Okay, so if you want to create these many machines, you have to buy those many computers. Not required. Just estimate how much your RAM capacity in your computer, install an application like a VMware workstation or a Oracle virtual box. You can, I will show you that one also. This is the Oracle virtual box. So in this one also you can create a virtual machines and do it. It function like our physical machines only. Okay, it depends upon our physical processor, RAM and hard disk, but it is intact. Like you can delete the virtual machine if you don't want it. Okay, so already one virtual machine is there here also. So like that, so you can create and delete it also, but you should know from the starting how to do it and all. So it is take maximum to learn one or two sittings of the class, one or two times troubleshooting, so you will learn it. Okay, so that's a simple to show you what is virtualization only, not exactly a definition kind of stuff, but understand what is the virtualization means. So without changing hardware here in the virtual machines, what is virtual machine? Without purchasing a physical hardwares, you can create a number of virtual machines in the same physical machine. The same laptop, I created number of virtual machines only. Okay, so this is my server, and here I'm going to create a user here. So look at, this is my server. Okay, what I'm trying to show you is, I as per this is my server. Okay, as per this is my server. In the server I'll create a user. In a client I log in with that user. Okay, so without creating a user in the this PC. Okay, so I'm logging, first of all, this is also a domain user. This is also a domain user. So I'm going to other. uh, so don't worry if you don't understand what I'm typing, so don't worry. I'm logging to my local computer, not in a domain computer. It is already in domain, but I will try to show you local computer. I forget the password. I will try. No, password is incorrect. Incorrect. Yeah, finally one password is sorted. I used it for last time. That time I changed my password and I forget my password. I use only two passwords for these virtual machines. Let it log in. So don't worry. Okay, so this is my domain name. I think you there is a uh, this is a server, right? So in server we can go. magnifier. It becomes low. Take time. Okay. So, yeah. Search bar. Type magnifier. M A mag magnifier. Yeah, very good. Here now. So see, this is the computer name. This is the domain name. Can you see? This is the domain name. Latif.com is a my domain name. Okay, I created this domain by installing ADDS and some settings. Okay, next. Um, okay, not there. Here it is. This is my one part, like a domain users and computers. We can see from there. So my computers like this. See, I went to the domain computers. Computers. This is my client name. This is my client name. We can see CTS3 WinC1. That is my client name. Okay, and these are other OUs. Like I created some users here. You can see Aniket, Apurva, and also in Java, Pratiksha. I created HR, Akram, IT support, Ashwini, IT user 1, IT user 2. Like that, I created some users in my domain. So like that. And here, to show you that in my client, what happened, something, there is a problem in my client is shutting down very frequently. Because it's the license thing is gone, so that's why it is giving a problem. Okay, no problem. It will start. Meanwhile, I will create a user in this one. So tell me which name you want it. So I'm creating a user here. So look at closely, like a new user. So I'm creating Chandrika. Okay, spelling. Okay, no problem. Yeah, these are nothing. Just I put a name. Okay, so here also I put a this is the login name. So when you log into the computer, you have to log in with this name. But whenever you okay. Mm. So this is a login name. So whenever you log in, you have to log in like this: Chandrika at the rate Latif.com or Latif slash Chandrika. Either way, you have to log in. So the first name, like this, is like a UPA, Universal Principal Name, and this is the SAM account name. That's a name only. Just I'm creating a user. I'm creating a user in my server, and next I have to give the password, right? So I'm giving a password, simple password, admin at the rate 123. We'll see whether it is works or not. Next, finish. So I created a user in my domain controller. Okay, and this is my client, only one single client. In my client, I am trying to log in with that user. So where is the username? Chandrika. Only one example. So click on other user. If you look at this one, Latif, sign in to Latif, it is showing. Otherwise, you can type Latif slash Chandrika or Chandrika at the rate Latif.com. Also, you can type it, but it is already in a domain. For first time, it will take time because background it will create a profile data for a Chandrika user. Okay, just I'm typing Chandrika and the password. I didn't create Chandrika in the Windows 10. I create a user in the server, but I'm logging into Windows 10. Why? Because of my PC in the domain. My PC in the latif.com domain. So that's why you can able to log in. See, the entire name came. Okay, now it is start getting that one. So let it come. It will take time. Meanwhile, I will copy these things. Okay, background. It will take several minutes. Okay, so once it is completed, I will give you a break. Okay, at least 10-15 minutes break. Then we'll continue the next topic. So domain. So Active Directory domain, a logical administrative boundary of users and computers. Guys, look at this one. So first of all, work group is a centralized administrator. Domain is sorry. Work group is a decentralized administrator. Domain is a centralized administrator. Domain is a centralized administrator. Work group decentralized administrator. Centralized control is there. Here it is no centralized control. No centralized control. It is every PC administrated by its own admin account or a user in our group. But here it is centralized administrator is a admin for all the domain users and computers. Okay, domain user cannot change settings, install or uninstall an applications in the individual local PCs. Only administrator of the domain admin account users can able to change it. Okay, so these are different Windows servers listed here: NT 2000, 2003, 2008, 12, 16, 19, 22 not yet came, so it will come. So I told how it is become a domain controller. Here it is another important point here. Active Directory database. I said no. So Active Directory database, the database name is also there. So that is called a ntds.dit. New technology. When you see in a Windows NT, it means new technology. NTFS, new technology file system. NTDS, new technology directory service, directory information tree. D means here directory. Active directory. Okay, so like that, new technology directory service, directory information tree. And it use authentication protocol. When you are authenticating username, so then it use protocol called Kerberos, and also it use another protocol is LDAP. Kerberos is one of the authentication protocol mainly used in Windows operating system. LDAP is a open LDAP type, means a lot of other organizations like a Unix, Linux also they are using. But in Windows we use both Kerberos and LDAP. Kerberos is a highly secured authentication protocol. Linux is a very popular operating system, lightweight, and most of the organization use Linux as a servers. But for a user authentication purpose, They use Active Directory, Windows servers only. Windows servers, Active Directory only. That because of this. So I explained earlier PC is a work group. Earlier, now it is a member of the domain once you are joined into the domain. So authentication kind of stuff, ADDS to controller host services. Just read it. You can understand. If you don't understand, there is a no problem. Okay. Now I log in successfully in my client. See, this is my server. This is my client with a username. So I just click on here. You can see I just click Chandrika. I create this user in a server and log in the client because of the client is in the domain. I will show you how it is the client it is there or not. So I open the settings of a Windows 10. Just you can go to this and click on the settings like this. Okay. So I am going to system information about. So see, this is my computer name CTS3 WinC1 and full name it is showing CTS3 WinC1 dot latif.com. So I will show you very in another way. See, of course, it is will ask because you can't change or open few things in a domain computer because user is user only, domain user, not a admin account. Also, you can view domain is latif.com. I'm going to change like a changing of computer name. Click on change. See, this is the computer name. You can look at member of domain latif.com. That's why I am the member of latif.com domain. If you don't want to be in that domain, you can join into the work group. Like you can click work group and type work group and click OK. So you will unjoin from it. Initially, it is in a work group. I join into the domain by clicking here and put the name and give the authentication. So I'm a member of the domain. Okay, so if I don't want, I can become a work group. I will tell initial point. Earlier this PC in work group, I join in the domain by clicking a domain, give the name and give the authentication with the server authentication. Click OK, restart. So I become a member of latif.com domain. Okay, so very simple, just to show that member of option. If you are a member of this domain, it means this server, this PC is belongs to that domain only. Okay, if not, so you can't log into this PC with a domain user. Guys, understand up to here the domain kind of stuff? Oh, last point is there. Oh, last point. Do you understand what I done? Like I create a user here. I log into the client with that user because of the client is in domain. Not only that, I can able to control client environment also by using group policies. Like this is group policies are there. So using group policies, I can do centralized administrator to client computer. I can do centralized controlling like uh, client's desktop environment, for example. Background, I want to put some logo. Or if you user user cannot create data on the desktop. So if you see my desktop, lot of data is there, no, lot of data is there. So like that, normal users are creating lot of data on the desktop. So I can restrict it, like I'm creating some file here like this. I create a policy and I've applied to the computers or users. So then you cannot create a data on the desktop, or a user cannot shut down the computer. User cannot shut down the computer, or remove the recycler bin, so you cannot delete anything. Or you want to change the date and time, so user cannot change the date and time. Or you deploy an application, you want to install an application, 100 computers are there. 100 computers, I can't install an application, right? But I can install through server. Through server I can install the application. Not only this story, also I'm telling a story is, I can install application to my domain client computers. I can share the resources within the domain computers and users. I can share the, so I have a printer, only domain users can able to access the printer. Okay, like that we can control, we can share the resources, we can create a security settings for the users in the domain. Like that we can able to do it. That's it, guys. That's about your thing. Okay, here it is. Already I created some policies. Okay, like a desktop wallpaper policies, internet settings related, internet options are there, na? That related policy I created. Only two policies only there now. Okay, user account login policies. How much typically you have to give the policy, kind of like that. So many things are there. We can control from the central server. What is the last point I said? Yeah. I think service desk is completed, right? So to explain the service desk last batch, I told this an example. So just for a moment, because we are here, so I'm explaining this point also. For example, in a service desk, to your service desk, actually you won't get this kind of stuff. But for an example, for understand, a user is there. For example, Rizwan is there. Rizwan sitting in the his system, and he forget his password. He type the password, but it's showing password is wrong. Password is wrong. So what I have done? So Rizwan contact service desk, and service desk people created as a request or an incident or a change, depends upon what. So like you have to change the user password. You have to change the user password. Then it is comes under change. Okay, or there is a request like a reset the password, reset the password. So Rizwan contact service desk asking for a change the password or a reset the password. Then ticket go to service desk technical team, like a server admins team, and they will reset the password, and they will tell, so ticket is closed. Then you, that's it. Okay, so verify, so user is able to log in now or not. That's it. Very simple step. User forget his password or unable to log in, they contact the service desk. Service desk create a incident or a change request. So that request go to technical team, like a server admin or a system admins. So they will reset a user password, and they will tell, so password reset is done. So the service desk is confirmed with the user, so now they can able to log in or not. So then they will close the ticket. So these are the steps. Okay, just for an example to understand service desk. So this is it, guys. Do you understand up to here?